What's up, guys? Brent here. I wanted to make a video talking about my experiences in dating. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm not looking for advice. I'm not even necessarily looking for opinion on this, although I am open to opinion, of course, and I am open to advice, but I'm not looking for it. I don't really, I think this is just a video just to really document my experiences. Maybe some people will be able to relate to it, maybe not. But really just talking about my experiences. I'm not upset by it. I'm not angry by it. It's a very neutral feeling. It's weird, the luck that I have. That'll be the word that I'll use. But if you know anything about me, I'm a very spiritual guy. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe we're creators of our own reality. I believe that quantum physics explains a lot to us in terms of how things work in this world. It's something that I wouldn't say I study too hardcore, but I do look it up a lot on YouTube. I do look it up a lot on the internet. I do have an understanding of chemistry. I just took a chemistry class, so I feel pretty knowledgeable on that. I'm far from a scientist, but anyway, the bottom line is this shit makes sense to me. Okay, The Secret. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's I pretty much feel the way that video really explains, that movie really explains a lot, and I feel that way. With that being said, I do believe that things happen in this life so we can grow and learn, and perhaps it is something I'm giving off that's giving me the results I'm getting. Perhaps it's just not time yet. Perhaps I need to just focus on myself. Perhaps I'm not the man I need to be. Perhaps I'm having this sort of luck so that I can learn how to better approach women and just keep working on myself and being a better version of myself. Who knows why this is happening? I just feel it's happening. It's just luck. I don't know how else to say it. Timing, maybe. I've changed a lot. I've done a lot. I'm not going to go all into it in this video, but I have taken a lot of advice and a lot of opinions and made lots of changes with that, whether it's from my, I used to go into approaching women like, I want to date you. Now I'm approaching them more like, let's be friends. I mean, I'm still clear that I'm looking for more than friends, but it's a less of aggressive approach. And I will talk about examples in this video. I also tried giving them my number instead of just always asking for theirs. That was advice that was given to me that I have applied. Just where I'm meeting women, I've gone to different places to meet them. I've taken in a lot of consideration into my approach, and I've applied all that. And basically what I do, I meet women everywhere. I am not a shy person, by far. I used to be. I used to be a very shy person. And maybe one day I'll make a video and really talk about my childhood and my experiences and give you some insight onto why I am the way I am and where I've come from. With that being said, I haven't really been a shy person since really just before I started T. My ex kind of got it out of me. She was like, you have a lot to say. You have a lot of good things to say. You shouldn't be so shy. That's pretty much what she said. You shouldn't be so shy. Just go out there and talk to people. And for me, I guess I just wasn't confident in myself. She brought out a lot of confidence in me, and due to the fact that growing up I was very antisocial, I was very into my music. I've always been a social person, but I've never really had good luck connecting with people. Maybe luck's not the right word, but it's hard for me to establish connections. I don't feel I can relate to a lot of people in this world. I feel that my view on life in general is very different and very unique, and I'm a very blunt person. I'm a very assertive person. I can be aggressive. I'm not afraid to ask for the things I want. I'm not afraid to go after the things I want, and I'm not afraid to call it as I see it. So I think that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I also am big into communication, which means in part, okay, there's a big part of what being a good communicator means to me, but a part of that means if I feel misunderstood, to explain myself, to say where I'm coming from, because there are people who do understand me, and when I explain myself, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And likewise, okay, I'm open to that. I don't see someone explaining themselves as being defensive. I don't see it as anything negative. I see it as coming to a mutual place of agreement, or not. but at least I can get perspective on where they're coming from. That's how I see it, and that's why I am the way I am. People take that however they take it. That's on them. But with that being said, not a shy person, so I meet women wherever. If I see a girl, a person even, doesn't even have to be a girl, if I see someone I want to talk to, I'm going to talk to them. I am constantly learning from my interactions with other human beings. I'm constantly learning about them. I'm constantly learning interesting facts I didn't know as it comes up in conversation. And it's just nice. I like to socialize. I like to talk to other people. I'm a really friendly guy. I like to make other people feel good. Everybody likes a compliment. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. Everybody likes, just kind behavior. It feels good. I don't think there's anybody in this world who would disagree and say that that does not feel good. So that's just how I am. I'm genuine in my interactions, but if I like your shirt, I'm going to tell you I like your shirt. You got an Eagles shirt on, I'm an Eagles fan, maybe we'll have a conversation about football. Who cares that I'm just meeting you in the store and bringing up this conversation to me? Now, if you're not interested in the conversation, if you're rushed, so be it. You go, I go, done is done. But I live by the motto of the answer will always be no if you never ask. Or rather, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So I talk to people. What do I have to lose? They're a stranger. I'm either going to talk to them, and we're not going to click, and we're never going to talk again, or I'm going to talk to them, and something's going to happen, exchange numbers, whatever. We're going to be in each other's lives. That's how shit goes down. With that being said, I've approached women last couple of times. I've toned down. I realized I was a little aggressive about things, kind of approaching them like, oh, I want to date you, whatever. Just I was too aggressive, and I think that was throwing them off. So I've toned down on that. But I do compliment them, and I am flirty with them, and I do think it is clear that I'm pursuing them more than friends. With that being said, if we end up as friends, I guess so be it. I mean, if we have things in common, that is what it is. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, I guess, just yet. I haven't really been having those experiences, I guess. And my experiences have been lately meeting girls. I met one at my pool. They just had a 4th of July party. It was a little bit before the 4th. I had great conversation with the girl. I started it. She was reading something for work about wines, and I asked her if she was doing. We're sitting next to each other at the pool for one. When I'd come up to her, it was really the only space because it was pretty busy. So I was like, "Oh, is someone sitting here?" She said no, but I didn't talk to her right away. I didn't talk to her for a while. And then eventually I asked her about what she was reading. I asked if it was school or work related, and we just started talking. And I felt like we were having a good conversation. It was back and forth. I would say something, she would respond. She was interested in me. She was asking questions, yada, yada, yada. It was just nice. It felt like a good connection. I would have asked for her number at the end, but my phone had been overheated, so instead I gave her mine. She never contacted me. Then I had a similar circumstance just 2 days ago. I was in Evo's, which if you don't know Evo's, it's so delicious. It's a healthy fast food chain. They've got turkey burgers. Their fries are air fried. They don't use trans fats. They have just a lot of really healthy options. They're super good. But anyway, I was there. I was eating by myself. This girl had walked in before me, actually, and she wanted to order, but she didn't know what she wanted, so she told me to go ahead. So we had that interaction. And then she was sitting, it was pretty crowded in there, actually, so she was sitting in front of me. And I was sitting there, and I'd gotten my food, and she was really cute. She looked fit, looked like a girl that I was interested in talking to. And I thought, just ask her to sit and have lunch with you if she wants to eat with you. And then I rethought that. Don't do that. It might come off as weird, whatever. And then I thought again to myself, what do you have to lose? Just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, so you creep her out. You're never going to see this girl again. Who cares? She's creeped out for a second. That's the absolute worst. So I said exactly that. I said, would you like to join me for lunch? To which her response was that she'd ordered hers to go. But we continued to talk, I'd say, for a good 5 or 6 minutes while she waited for her food. It seemed like good conversation. We had common interests. She asked about my foot because it's broken right now in a boot. She asked about that. She asked, it just felt like a good connection. Like a lot of back and forth. She asked about things in my life. We talked about the food we were eating, talked about where she was coming from. I learned her name. I learned she just moved here a year ago from Jacksonville. We talked about the zombie pub crawl in Jacksonville that I had gone to, that she had heard of. We both realized we love zombies. So I would say it was a good conversation. It ended with me asking her for her number, and I was going to say, to redo lunch or something, but I thought, based on opinions and advice I've gotten in the past that I'm taking into consideration, let me kind of take it back a little bit. I mean, she probably knows I'm interested in her. Anyway, so I said to hang out, right? So that's what I said. She said, sure, gave me her number. I said I would text her. I'd text her so she would have my number. I said, I'll text her right now so you have my number. To which she replied, her phone was either, I think she said it was in the car at home or something like that. She didn't have it on her. And she said, but definitely text me. And she smiled and seemed real friendly and whatever. So, okay. So I texted her right away, like I said, that day. And I just said, hey, this is Brent. This is my number from Evo's. This is my number or whatever. Then I texted her the next day. And all I said was, hey, how are you? How's your weekend going? That's what I said. Hey, how is your weekend going? To which she never responded. Now, I'm not going to text this girl again. She knows my number. I've sent her 2 texts now. If she wants to get in touch with me, she will get in touch with me. But my point is, it's strange. It's strange. I don't understand how I can have these connections in person. I mean, I guess these people are just being friendly. The only thing that really makes logical sense is they're just friendly people who have no interest in talking to me to begin with, but they don't want to be rude. And it's easier to give someone your number and then not talk to them again, in some cases, than to deny your number on the spot. That's the only logical sense I can make of this. But I just wanted to share these experiences because I have not had a date. Oh, jeez. The last person I dated was this girl who lives in New York. It was an online dating, and that was on Valentine's Day of this year. So that was a couple months ago, February. And we dated for about a month. But, and she acted like she was interested. She acted, told me repeatedly she had so many, she really liked me and I was so easy to talk to and she loved how we had all this in common. In the beginning, her ex, who had not treated her so nicely, on 2 separate occasions, they were in this big fight. They were broken up. She admitted that she still loved him but was not in love with him, right? They all say that. And, all this stuff. So I guess that got complicated because what ended up happening was she was mad at him and she made it seem like she was into me, that she really enjoyed talking to me. She was actually even going to come to visit me in March. That was the initial plan. And then he ended up, he knew she was talking to me and he just said the right things, did the right things. And, love is love, and she ended up giving him another chance and basically told me that she didn't know why, but she had lost all feelings for me when he came back. So I guess because I was just a rebound from the beginning, that she obviously didn't realize, but whatever the case, so that was the last person I dated, and before that I was in an off-again, on-again open relationship with the girl from Canada, but that lasted about a year, and that was 2011 to 2012, right around there. Before that, my previous relationship was 2008, 2009, which didn't last very long. So, I don't know. I'm a genuine guy. I'm a loyal guy. I'm an honest guy. I think I'm a funny guy. I think I'm relatively attractive. I take care of my health. I'm always trying to grow and better myself. I'm focused. I feel like I have a lot of great qualities. I know that I have a lot of negative qualities. I know that my negative qualities and the fact that they probably came out too soon probably really factored in with that girl in New York. I know it's factored into my other relationships because I am a very emotional person. If I feel passionate about something, if I feel angry about something, if I feel happy about something, if I feel sad about something, whatever the case, it's very intensified for me, and I'm very open with how I feel all the time because I'm a human fucking being and we all have emotions. And, everybody reacts differently and perceives things differently in this life. So, what might be offensive to someone and not offensive to you doesn't mean it's not offensive. That's their individual take on it for whatever reason. So, I maybe show my emotions more and express myself more than the average person, perhaps. Maybe a lot of people don't believe that I'm this honest person that I say I am, for whatever reason, because they've got trust issues. I don't know. I don't know. I am who I am. I am constantly working and growing as a person. You can't change your soul. I'm just going to flat out tell you that. You can try all you want. Maybe you can. Let me know if you're successful in permanently changing your soul. But I know no one who's ever been able to do that. And we all are who we are. We have our likes. We have our dislikes. We know what makes us feel good. We know what makes us feel bad. It's all very individual and unique. Yes, people have common things. There are many people who are afraid of heights. There are many people who aren't afraid of heights. There are some people that if I was like, oh, fuck you, they would be offended. Some other people, that doesn't matter. That's just how I talk. They don't take offense to that. I wouldn't take offense to that. We're all unique in how we feel and what we do. And I believe that you shouldn't have to change yourself for someone to love you. There's billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of people in this world. And you're going to connect with someone who gets you and understands you and loves you for who you are. With that being said, if you're a lying, violent, you steal from people, you're not a very nice person, it may make things very difficult for you. You're probably not going to attract and keep a nice person in your life. But if that's who you are, and you don't want to change and you don't want to grow, so be it. Live your life. Do what you got to do. That's the way I see it. But my point is, you shouldn't have to change for anybody. As long as you're happy with yourself, that's what matters, being happy with who you are. So if you're not happy with yourself, maybe you want to grow, maybe you want to work on things. Everyone's got strengths, everyone's got weaknesses. I like to focus on my strengths and consider my weaknesses and figure out just how I can use my strengths to make a difference in this world, and how I can use my weaknesses to strengthen myself, to be a better person. You have to have contrast to appreciate, right? We wouldn't, if all we had was light, we wouldn't appreciate the darkness because we wouldn't know it existed. So you have to have contrast to appreciate what you have, and that's why contrast exists in this world. But I do believe that there's a way around every obstacle, and that, just keep going on your path. You're going to get to where you need to be. So with that being said, that's my little whatever on my dating experiences. Maybe you can relate, maybe you can't. Again, not looking for advice, so don't be offended if I don't take your advice. Opinions, I mean, of course, I'm making this video, say what you gotta say, but I'm not necessarily looking for that. I feel comfortable where I'm at. I've made a lot of changes, and I really feel in my heart that it's just timing, that I'm just not meant to date anyone right now, that this is all a learning experience for me, and when the time is right, I will find a girl to date. In the meantime, it actually does build up my confidence. It used to really bum me out, all this rejection. Now I feel it's easier and easier to talk to people. It's either easier and easier to establish that connection in person. And it's not going to be long before I establish that connection in person and someone wants to take it to the next level, wants to get to know me a little bit better, and they do actually text me, and they do actually pick up their phone and call me. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and just see what happens. So I'm sorry this video is almost 20 minutes long. I hope you guys had the time to watch it and got something out of it. Definitely leave your comments below, and if there's anything you want me to talk about, hit me up.